So that is the red skin on it. Oh, you're not supposed to say redskins. That is the red metal on it. Yes, I'm out of breath. Hadn't put the trim on yet. Going to show you the trim because trim is important. See that big gap right there? That's what trim is all about. See that gap up at the top? I don't know if you can see that in the shadow, but it doesn't come quite to the top. That's what trim is all about. Over here, too, like that. That's what trim is all about. So, and trim is like love. Trim covers a multitude of sins. Like on this side here. This will be a little easier to see. That is not coming all the way to the top. Originally, well, in fact I did. I cut it at a little angle. This pitch on this roof is only about a 1/12. And I cut the angle, but then I decided I wanted the bottoms to be level, and since I'm using the tin that I had, it was all the same length. So instead of making this staggered or coming back and cutting that off, I just decided to do this, stagger it up there, and then put a 6-inch trim up there. I'll put a 6-inch trim also on the fascia, put a 6-inch trim under there is what I'm talking about. Under there. And then I'll put a 6-inch trim on that fascia right there. 6-inch L-shaped trim on the top. Anyway, I'll show you all that. This one came out pretty good, but it's still going to get a piece of trim on it. See how they come together like that? And a trim, all it does is wrap around from one corner to the other. It just goes, it makes that whole corner and covers up the, this is our panel, covers up the expansions, not the expansions, what am I trying, the corrugation there, the rise and fall. That's the rise. But the trim will go around that. My hand can't reach quite that far, but that trim is going to do that. It's white, and it will just go around and cover that, and you'll never know that that is not a pretty cut. And it's not a pretty cut. I don't know what I was doing there. Most of the cutting came out real nice, but that one was, I don't know, I had something in a bind. Got to screw a couple more down. I just, what I did was come over here. I didn't show you that first piece. The first piece was going to come and going to do kind of a C shape under the door and up here. So I just went ahead and cut it off on this side, butted it up to the door, cut a piece for the top and the bottom, a 3-foot piece for top, 3-foot piece for the bottom. And then I made this next sheet, this sheet here, I made it do kind of an E shape, or backwards C, to where it comes over here. Where am I? Comes down here and goes in on that rise right there, and it overlaps right there. So and it worked out real well. That's how I had it figured anyway when I bought the metal. But if you've never worked with metal, it just takes a little time. Think it out before you cut it. It's too expensive not to. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's going to ask what this metal costs. Shoot, it was I want to say $2.50 a foot. It covers 3 feet, and it's $2.50 a foot. So these are 9-foot sheets. So they cost, as 18 and 6 is, whatever 18 and 6 is, I don't know, I'm tired. About $24 for a 3-foot. $24 will cover 3 feet on a 9-foot wall. So that's not bad. If you got 8-foot walls, then $22, something like that. Metal may be a lot more expensive where you are, but that's what it is around here. And I'm just tickled. It again is going to match my barn. It's going to match the roof on my house, which you may or may not can see way back up in the distance. But this is that eyesore of a shed I had, and I'll show you so when I get the metal on, when I get the trim on, I'll show you a little bit of putting up the trim, because trim's important. Trim's very important. They got trim that goes around the door, trim that goes around the windows, and I've got white for that, and it'll look good. Looking forward to getting her done.